So in the last video, you were introduced to the concept of finding an average value of a function over a closed interval, and you found the following here. And in this video, I really just want to show you why this 1 over b minus a term needs to exist, why it can't be anything else, why it has to be here. And that's to give you actually a really simple example. And that is to show you that when we're finding an average value of a constant function over an interval, well, we better get that constant back out. And a good example to consider would be maybe something like this. You're going on a car trip, okay? And we can plot hours down here, and we can plot your speed also in miles per hour. And let's say over the duration of your car trip, you're only going 60 miles per hour. You do not change your speed at all. And maybe we look at a 10-hour time interval here, and we say, over these 10 hours, on average, how fast were you going? And you would say, well, duh, I didn't change my speed at all. I obviously, on average, was going 60 miles per hour. And you'd be exactly correct, and that is what matches our intuition. But this is the exact reason why this 1 over b minus a term needs to exist. Because if we were to calculate and use what we found for finding an average value of a function, we would get the following. We'd have 1 over 10 minus 0, so that's the length of our interval there, and we'd have the definite integral from 0 to 10, and our constant function is 60, and we would be integrating with respect to t, and what would we get? We would get what? We would get 60t, and then we'd evaluate this, 0 and 10, and then we'd be multiplying by 1/10, and this would come out to what? 600, and then we would be multiplying by 1/10, and we would get 60 out. So exactly what we expected. But this goes to show you, this is why this 1 over b minus a term needs to be here, why it can't be anything else, so that when we find an average value of a constant function over an interval, we get the constant back out. So if you ever forget why this 1 over b minus a term is in here, why it can't be anything else, you can come back to an easier example like this.